Hi, my name is Mehdi Saifi. I'm a real estate broker in the GTA and the York region area. In today's video, I'm going to go over the process of selling a property during divorce or separation. In my 30 years experience in this business, I've had represented multiple cases of people going through this challenging time, and no doubt it is hard. Whatever the reason is for that, it could be economical or other things, but in most cases, usually economical pressure that it builds up. In the last few months, as you all know, the interest rates have increased dramatically from like 2.5% has gone up to 6.5%. And this alone has put a lot of pressure on people with mortgages. Now, beside that, obviously, the living expenses are gone up, like groceries, gas, car payments, etc., etc. Now, before we start, I'd like to let everyone know that I'm not an attorney and I'm not giving anyone legal advice, and I'm only looking at this from a real estate broker's point of view. Usually when it comes to divorce or separation, there are two major circumstances or scenarios that we deal with. One is that both parties have agreed to sell the property and divide everything equally and move on with their life, which is the easiest and the fastest process. And the other one is if one tries to keep the property and buy out the partner. Now let's go back to the first one first. The issues that you got to be looking into is your mortgage to start with. All mortgages, they have a beginning date and a maturity date when the contract between you and your lender, your bank, or etc. have been done. If you're in a situation where you have to break your mortgage prior to the maturity date, there are usually fees involved with that, and unfortunately they're not little, and it could be anywhere from $70,000 to $45,000 depending on the amount of your mortgage. There are penalties involved that you have to pay them. Any liens that you might have on your property, liens could be from, just to give a simple example, is if a contractor, for whatever reason, you had somebody do some work on your house and he wasn't happy with the result and he puts a lien on your house, or it could be from CRA for failure to pay taxes. Mortgage fees, capital gains if applicable, legal fees, brokerage commissions, and so on and so on. There are, of course, issues like credit cards, car payments, whether they're lease or finance, who's on the line, who's responsible, was that a joint effort to purchase or lease that car, or one of the individual is responsible for that vehicle on their own. Now let's go to the second scenario where one intention is to keep the property and buy out his or her partner. Everything that we just covered, that applies plus a few more, and in order for you to be able to do that, you need to have cash in hand to be able to buy your partner out. If not, you better have a good amount of equity built up on your property that you can pull a loan against your property and to be able to again to buy out your partner. And the third one is being qualified for a new mortgage, and that could be the challenging part, because let me give you an example. Let's say at the time that you were a couple, your mortgage was $500,000, and banks, they qualify you based on two income, and you got your mortgage. Now the original mortgage is going to remain the same, and you're going to end up borrowing another $250,000 in order to pay out your partner, and that's with one income versus two. So that may be a challenge. Please do take that into consideration. In most cases, it's really easier to just sell the house and move on. You don't have to justify it for your nosy neighbors or people ask you questions. Just move on. Some people prefer to do that. They don't want any attachments, any memories from the past, anything that relates to the couple and that property. So it's easier to move on and sell the property. One of the worst things a couple going through this process is to get emotional and dealing with issues with anger and being revengeful and trying to make a point to the other side or hurt the other partner. It would make your process incredibly difficult. It would take longer for this process to finalize, and that means more legal fees, and that means you got to put out more money from both your pockets in order to be able to deal with it. And the second part of this dilemma is the fact that you would end up with less money in your pocket, and I don't think you would like to do that. Now, what's next? You are in this situation, you have made your decision, and with these little hints here and there, you basically have a more or less idea as what needs to be done. But what's next? Next is you need to find yourself a very good attorney that has solid experience in representing couples in cases of divorce and separation, that can guide you through a successful conclusion of your decision. Second thing is you need to get yourself a experienced agent that can help you through this challenging time and wrap this up with the least amount of stress. You got to be very careful with both choosing a lawyer or an agent. We have lots of good attorneys out there, or real estate agents or brokers, but there are few that they're looking for shortcuts, and obviously both organizations are governed by very strong monitoring body. With the lawyers is Upper Canada Law Society. I know they've changed their name recently. I only I use the old name, but you can look up the new name. And for real estate agents is RECO, Real Estate Council of Ontario, and they take agents and lawyers' conduct very seriously. Now, why I say that is because your agent must understand that they can't disclose your personal matters and situation to the other side, and by doing that puts you on a disadvantage where in his or her communication to an agent that has brought a potential buyer for your property, say, look, they're getting divorced, and just bring me any offer, I'll help you to wrap it up. I mean, oh my God, like an agent is got to be stupid to do that, really stupid to do that. And they got to protect you with every tool that they have available to them, with every bit of information that they can benefit you to save you from being at disadvantage. Now, keep that in mind. Please feel free to contact me if you have any questions or you need any additional information going through a divorce or a separation. I also like to give my gratitude to this lady that I had a meeting with a few nights ago. unfortunately in the same situation. And as I was speaking, she kept taking notes, and at one point, out of frustration, she said, "Oh my God, this is too much." And she suggested that I should be putting these on a podcast like this, basically for more people to benefit from it. Now, when I went home, just looking at the material that I should be covering in this few minutes podcast, comment, I wish you all well, and remember, mind at peace is a mind at work. So try not to give yourself the extra stress that you could live without.